All right, now on Beer Night episode 8. Still can't believe we have 8 of these. 8 of these motherfuckers.
Is that counting like all the little side shit we did? No.
Side shit is the side shit. These are full blown.
So we've had
episodes.
8 full episodes plus the side shit.
Plus the side shit.
Oh, okay.
Yes, plus the side shit. And
we're keeping track.
Next month is our 1-year anniversary. So hopefully you're still here to watch the 1-year anniversary of episode 9.
Did you see the first one? That's the question.
A lot of people did, actually, I think. Hopefully. But on this segment, we're going to talk about movies and TV shows and / video games.
We don't have Jenna here this time.
No.
She couldn't make it. So instead of me arguing with her about whatever, some bullshit, we just got to try to talk a little bit.
Fill in the blanks a little bit with that.
We try our best.
I'll go ahead and start off what I've been watching this vacation that we had. I did have COVID, and that shit actually really sucked, dude. I was pretty brutal for me. Some people have mild symptoms. I had pretty bad symptoms. It hit me pretty hard. Shit's real. Make sure you wear your mask everywhere, and stay safe out there. During that time, did watch a lot of stuff. I'm into Your Honor is really good with
Bryan Cranston. Bryan Cranston, yeah.
Really good show. Really on Showtime.
Showtime. Yeah.
Good show. I'm enjoying that one. The premise of that show is so Brian's character, he's a judge, and he has a son. The son accidentally kills a mob boss's son. And you kind of get that with the trailer.
Recipe for disaster.
And
never a good thing.
And his dad tries to cover it up, and it's just one snowball effect after another. It's pretty interesting. It's on episode 6 right now. Just aired on Sunday.
Sounds interesting.
It's very interesting. It's a good show. I'm enjoying it a lot. Ryan's still always amazing.
Yeah, he's great.
Great actor.
Yeah.
Did watch. Majority of us watched at home. I think WW84.
Wonder Woman.
Yeah, I watched that.
Yeah.
1984.
Yes.
Did you guys like that movie?
I enjoyed it. I didn't love it.
Yeah.
I enjoyed it a lot.
Yeah.
I very much enjoyed it. I like the first one a little bit better, but I don't know. I don't really. I'm not big on comparing one to the other. It's like I enjoyed it a lot. If you were to force me to say, I would say I like the first one a little better. But I still very much enjoyed. I thought I really liked the depiction of Maxwell Lord. I thought Pedro Pascal did a fantastic job.
Amazing.
Great.
He's
been on it, man.
Great job.
Mandalorian and that and
Narcos, baby.
I did watch.
I love him in Narcos.
Movie that I watched the day before that too.
Really?
So I'm like, good lord! I watched.
Yeah.
I think I watched The Mandalorian, and then I can't remember what movie, and then I watched Wonder Woman. I'm like, okay, he's in everything.
he's literally in everything. Wonder Woman, Mandalorian.
He's great in Narcos. He was great in Game of Thrones, which is kind of one of the things that kind of gave him his real push start. So he's always good.
But WW84, I liked it. It was a good movie. I'm a horror for DC. Love DC. I thought the movie though was a little more too much of a love story. It didn't have too much action in it. And
is that bad of a thing?
That part of it was okay for me. The only thing is I thought they kind of glossed over the fact that this dude in somebody else's body is hooking up.
Yeah,
that was kind of
they didn't really care.
They kind of mentioned it, but that seems like it should have been more of a thing.
That honestly, none of that bothered me at all. The only thing that, and I thought the scene where she lets him go was pretty well done.
I
thought it was very well done, but at the same time, I kind of feel like it was somewhat abrupt. Like you just never saw him again. It was kind of over. Even though the scene where they did it was well done and the actors did a great job. Yeah. But at the same time, it's like she just walks away and he's gone, and then they just kind of move on. And it's kind of like, that's it.
That's it.
Like,
That's done.
Yeah.
Move
So
on.
it's like, I understand the point of it, because the point is that
It's been over for 80 years.
right. Well, it was also a manifestation of the MacGuffin in the movie, right? The stone.
The stone.
Right?
Yeah.
So it was none of it was
that
real. It was all fantasy. Yeah. So I mean, I get the ideas behind it. It just felt a little abrupt. That's all.
Yeah.
And I did think now the Trent that what's her name that was Cheetah in the movie, the actor, you remember?
Shit, you're making me fucking think.
I'm horrible.
The other
the chick. I thought her transformation into that was really good, but when she actually turned into Cheetah, like it felt too cartoonish, for a live action movie. It felt way too cartoonish.
I don't know. I was fine with it. Like, it didn't really
I don't know.
me
To me,
I didn't get any issues with that. I watched it with my roommate. He is a big comic book guy.
He is.
And I'm not. I enjoy the DC and the comic book stuff, but I don't actually read a lot of the comics or movies or whatever. So, like, that part of it was lost on me. I didn't know who Cheetah was before that, right? So, like, just for watching the movie without having any of this extra backstory, I didn't have any problems with that part of it.
I think it's just because, like, I've seen Cheetah in the Justice League animated series, and she's fixated really, really well in that. I felt they did this almost the same thing, except for they gave her a little bit more power in the movie.
She was more powerful. She was more powerful.
Oh, it's just like the look of her was too cartoonish. I thought maybe they would go a little bit more realistic. Almost,
I will say, I didn't understand that she was supposed to be a cheetah.
Yeah. Oh, no.
I will say, I mean, she obviously was like cat-like, and animalistic. I got that part of it, but I didn't know it was supposed to be a cheetah.
He's saying this based off knowledge of the character. They never mentioned that in the movie.
No, that's what I'm saying.
No, I don't think they did.
Until I talked about it with
but we all know
because if you know,
like, oh, that was Cheetah. I'm like, oh, a cheetah? Is that what she was supposed to be?
Yeah, because if you know the Wonder Woman character, you know one of her central villains is Cheetah. Yeah. So like it plays from that. But if you're just watching it, it's just a character. It doesn't matter. Yeah, so it didn't bother me.
I was fine with it. I enjoyed it. Watching it, the comfort of my home. It's kind of weird.
That I actually really liked.
I love like movies. It, but
honestly, I kind of would have liked seeing it.
I do too.
I kind of would like seeing it in theater.
Yeah. I'm not the biggest theater fan. I love movies, but I actually like just watching them.
I would have liked seeing it on the big screen with a good sound system and stuff.
My sound system and my TV are big enough and good enough.
I've got a big TV. I got a good sound system, but there is something about
it. It is something about theaters. Yeah. Love. I hope theaters.
I guess it comes back to
survive. Let's hope.
Sure. During this. I mean, maybe it comes back to just the being around other people.
Yeah.
Enjoying something being around other people, like with live music versus, maybe there's something similar there. But
well, that's all I got. What have you guys been watching?
So I've been going kind of old school.
Yeah.
I started watching Sopranos.
Sopranos.
Okay.
I've never watched it.
You should. I've seen it before. But really, I got into The Sopranos I watched some early on episodes when they first premiered because I was big into HBO at the time. I was big in this, HBO shows. I was big into Oz. Right? I was a big fan of Oz at the time. And The Sopranos was like the next big drama show for HBO at the time. So I watched a few episodes early on, but then kind of lost track of it. And then I kind of caught into it in the later seasons and watched pretty much every episode, maybe from the halfway mark or so of the series on. But that was a long fucking time ago. So going back and watching it now has been really interesting.
Yeah.
It's a really good show. It deserves its... I mean, there was times when I felt like it was kind of overrated.
Yeah. But
I think it deserves its place as being as recognized of a show as it is. It's really interesting, a really good character study. And it's just a really compelling show to watch overall. So other than that, I watched obviously Wonder Woman, got into Cobra Kai, I've always been into Cobra Kai. Actually, I shouldn't say I got into it. I've been watching the new season. We stopped, so we haven't watched all of it because
what?
Hold on, because they started bringing up all this shit from Karate Kid Part 2.
Oh.
And of course, I know it very well because I grew up with that shit. Yeah. But watching it with our daughter, and she knows nothing, right? So she saw the first Karate Kid. I don't think she ever saw Karate Kid Part 2. I don't think if she did, it was when she was very, very, very young.
Yeah.
So we're like, okay, well, we're gonna go back and watch the first 2 movies just to kind of get you a little your feet wet, so you understand at least what's going on. It's not just completely.
It is definitely referential. I mean, they put the clips in and
it doesn't really help.
But I don't think it does enough.
No, it doesn't. And honestly, the clips just make it.
It's good for
cheesy
a
more than anything else.
It's
just
good
makes
for
kind
a
of cheesy.
reminder, but it's
it's like you can. The clips to me just make it more cheesy. Like if you know what's going on, you don't need the clips.
Yeah, but the whole show revels in its own cheese.
Absolutely.
So
absolutely no, that's 100%. But the clips go to another level to me because they're like, oh, look at this. Look at all what happens. Like, yeah, I know that. I'm good. I know. Yeah. I know, but she doesn't. So it's like it's like we're gonna go back and watch them, and so we kind of stopped. When his rival from Karate Kid 2 pops up at the end, it's the cliffhanger of that one episode. It's like episode 5 or something.
Okay.
And so he pops up and he says my name. He's like, it gets he revels in his cheesiness, right? It's like he says his name. I can't remember his name.
So that's where you stopped?
Bad with names, yeah.
Okay.
So,
yeah.
Well, the thing I would most want to talk about is in the last episode.
Yeah, we're not there yet. So.
No,
but I did think it was great. I did think it was great because before that, the ice dropping in the little holder, and then they zoom out. And it's like nothing. I don't remember what it was, but it was nothing.
Like ice cubes in like a fancy restaurant.
Exactly. Yeah, it was something silly. But they did that just because it's an Easter egg, right? It's just to please fans who grew up with the movies like I did. As soon as I saw it, I knew what they were referencing. But she didn't. So it was kind of the thing where it's like, okay, that was something you can kind of let pass. It's like, yeah, you don't get that, but it's kind of cool, but you don't get that.
Yeah.
But then when the guy comes up at the end, it was kind of like, I guess maybe you should see these other.
Yeah. That was a good one. I only watched that maybe 4 months ago.
Really? To
start with.
I've been there since it was on YouTube.
I didn't catch it on YouTube, so I only watched it once it got to Netflix. But
I watched it on YouTube.
I enjoy it. It's definitely got this. It revels in its own cheese.
It does.
There's definitely a cheesiness to it,
but it works.
But it works. It absolutely works. And there's a part in the last episode that I think embodies it perfectly. But I will say that it's interesting that from a stunt perspective, you can see that the actors do a lot of the martial arts.
Except for Ralph Macchio.
No, well, but on screen, most of them do it. And not that it's great physical acting, like they're not good at it.
William Zabka does more.
He does great.
Does more than Ralph Macchio
like
does.
The kid who plays Hawk, I think is great.
Yeah,
his physical prowess, like I think he's one of the better ones. Like his daughter is a great actor, but like her karate stuff, not so great. But I think that almost adds to the cheesiness. But also, it's like these are real people doing this karate, not like super master.
Sure,
like it's almost. It's
not
it's
fucking
cheesy,
Jet Li.
It almost makes it more believable that these are regular people doing karate in a fight versus. Again, Jet Li or whatever.
Yeah,
so it's kind of an interesting two-edged sword there.
It does add to it. There were times
it adds to it, but also detracts it as from an artistic standpoint from the movie. But I don't know. I thought that was an interesting point.
It's cool. It works. I mean, the show works on pretty much every level in spite of itself. Right? Yeah. Like you expect it to be bad, but it just works. Like it's everything you want it to be. The original concept was what really sells it, because the idea that, we're going to follow Johnny, who was the villain of the first movie, and we're going to make you like him, even though he's a douche in a lot of ways, but he's a likable douche.
Like he still is, but
he's a likable douche.
The reasons behind it,
and he's a likable douche.
Yeah.
Like there's just so many. He's funny, right? Like he's politically incorrect and he's funny, but it's not in an offensive way. Although some people want to find him, whatever. Well, but it's funny. Like he's just a real fucking dude.
Yeah.
That's it. And they did a great job of humanizing him and just making it, hey, look, these are just real people.
There's
even
concept of perspective.
Right. Even Daniel, it's like yeah, he's the hero of the original movie, but he's just another dude. He's just another person.
Yeah.
And his perspective is different from somebody else's. And their perspective of him is like they see him as a douche, or at least Johnny sees him as a douchebag because of what they went through. And it works. Yeah. It works.
That was good.
Kind of feel like Rick and Sports segment right now. I've not watched.
Not watched that one?
Not watched that one.
Fair enough.
I think I've watched Karate Kid, the first one, way back when I was young. I have not seen it since. And I have not watched Karate Kid Part 2 or even 3.
Well, you can avoid 3. Let's start there.
Well, from what I've heard, you got to watch 3 to get season 3.
No.
There's something.
No, 2. You got to watch 2.
You watch 2?
Yeah.
All right. Well, I'm going to watch
3.
one. I think that's what I'm going to be doing before our next episode. I'm going to watch Karate Kid 1, 2, then start Cobra Kai. I think it's time.
Yes, you should. But honestly, you know what? Here's what I will say, though, is that it helps a lot if you grew up with them and if you were a child of the 80s.
I remember watching the first one. It's just, I don't think I've gotten into the second one.
But here's the thing, too, is that where I will endorse this is watching the first movie as an adult.
Yeah. You
gain so much more out of it.
Yeah.
Because as a kid, you're just watching it because it's the Karate Kid. You just want to see some people kick people right in the face.
Yeah.
But as an adult, you watch it and you totally get the story behind it because the story is not that at all.
Yeah.
The story is something totally completely different that you don't get as a kid because you need an adult perspective to get it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So from that standpoint, I would say absolutely watch it. But I do feel like Cobra Kai pays off a little bit more if you grew up with the kind of the stories. But the Karate Kid absolutely is a much better movie as an adult than it was when we were a kid.
You gotta check that out.
Like when I was a kid, I liked it. I enjoyed the movie. But when I was an adult, I was like, holy fuck, this is actually a really good movie. Like the story behind it is actually really good and really well done. So
okay. It's on my list then.
So couple of other things I've been watching. One thing I watched recently, it's not like it's a long thing. Netflix, History of Swear Words.
I
haven't watched it. I have not.
New, right?
It is. Yeah, it's very new.
It just came out.
I haven't watched it yet. I haven't watched it.
It's pretty amusing for a foul mouth.
Yeah.
Like me.
Yeah, same here.
It was good.
It's good, huh?
Yeah. I mean, you guys haven't watched it. We won't talk about it too much. But it's amusing if you enjoy cussing like a sailor.
Yes.
Sure. So that's good. And then, so one other thing I've been watching lately, it just came back out. I think it's on its second episode, last night. Is show the Rookie. Are you familiar with that? The Rookie. Yeah, it's not that popular.
Sounds like a movie.
No, it's a show on I think ABC. It has Nathan Fillion as a cop who.
Oh yes.
I know that rookie in his 40s. Or
yes,
whatever.
Yes, I know.
And I mean, being a guy in my 40s, and there's that. But I really like Nathan Fillion.
Yeah, he's great.
He's a great actor. Yeah. As a cop show, I think the show gives a certain amount of realism. I'm not saying it's like a documentary, and obviously it takes artistic license to a certain degree, but I think there's a certain element of realism that I think grounds it. Even while I mean, I think there's stats that most police officers never fire their gun. And he's in his 8th day and he's already had 5 gunfights.
Yeah, right.
There's definitely artistic license and story and stuff, but I think there's also a certain amount of realism and a relatability to it. In these times with subjects as polarizing as police and stuff. Even more so now. I mean, I watched the first 2 seasons, obviously, without that stuff. Now watching, going back into it with this 3rd season, the very first episode back, I think they had an interesting perspective as they, the first episode back after all of that stuff. So, I don't know. I enjoyed it.
I'm always skeptical of network TV shows. I just always feel like they're so over the top. Yeah. Even something we talk about, the cheese factor in Cobra Kai, which works, but I always feel like in network TV, it doesn't work. It always makes me cringe. I'm just like, this is just
I think
way ridiculous.
If you're talking network TV shows, to me the best one that I've ever watched was on Fox 24.
Okay,
good show.
Yeah.
Good show. Yeah. With Kiefer Sutherland.
Kiefer Sutherland, yeah.
Very good show. I think they did 9-10 seasons around there.
It was in my list of to watch.
It's a very good show. Very, very good show. Top network shows, probably number one almost. Mm-hmm. It's right there. Very good shows.
Yeah, I've just always had a hard time with network TV shows. Yeah. I always, I don't know. I just kind of almost avoid them by a rule. Not that that's a good rule. It's just me being.
Some of them are just fucking lame as hell.
Yeah.
Like going back to the Rookie, I think it. There were definitely, obviously, more stuff that would happen to a normal person, but they also showed some of the more mundane parts of it. And I thought it had a kind of a good balance between showing like the more extreme, story-driven, exciting parts, but also tempering that with like some of the more mundane, regular calls, some humor and some levity, relationships. I don't know. So that's something I enjoy.
Right on. Cool.
So the last thing I think we need to talk about, we don't have Jenna here this time.
No, we don't have Jenna here now.
So she's not here to give me a hard time or me to give her a hard time or however it goes. I don't know either. So I'm always along for the ride.
Have you been playing any new video games? Or?
So I'm still knee deep in the fucking Witcher because it's just way too goddamn long.
Oh yeah,
games.
Good. Yeah, good game though, right?
Yes, it is. It is a good game.
I gotta get out.
It is a good game.
That's one of my favorites.
It is good.
It's good.
You know what? Yeah. A lot of people say that, and I don't want to be a hater. I very much enjoy the game. Yeah. I like it a lot, but I fall just short of the hype. Like I'm just short to where I'm like I don't quite get it. I don't quite get it. I like the game a lot. I enjoy playing it. I'm not going to stop playing it anytime soon. I'm probably going to finish it and play it all the way through.
Yeah.
And I got caught up doing way too much side shit. And that probably is part of it. Is that I feel like there's just too much.
Yeah.
You said everything that I think about Red Dead Redemption 2. I finally am playing that, and I enjoy it. I'm not going to stop it. I like it, but to me, it feels slow and tedious. The travel paces, there's times where you just walk so fucking slow. I'm like, just move. I don't know. It's just. It's just. I feel that sometimes it's a little tedious, and it's kind of a slow burn at pace.
And this is exactly what I feel. I don't feel like Witcher is a slow burn. I just feel like
I don't think it's slow burn. I don't think Witcher's slow burn, but I'm just saying what you said about Witcher. I think about Red Dead.
Well, I don't think Red Dead's a slow burn either. But like if I'm going to compare the two from a dichotomy standpoint and say that if I'm saying the same things that you feel about Red Dead 2. Red Dead 2, I certainly don't feel as a slow burn, but I don't necessarily feel like that is the case with Witcher. I just feel like there's too much. Yeah. There's an overabundance of shit for you to do.
Like trying to find all of the animals and get all the animal pelts and like some of the random side missions and the having to ride your horse for fucking 10 minutes. I'm like, I don't want to just kind of be there. I don't want to ride the horse anymore. That's the fucking Witcher too. Like the Witcher has all of these fucking find all this and find all that. The treasure hunts are fucking crazy fucking time consuming ad nauseum. In The Witcher, it didn't strike me that way as in Red Dead.
It's crazy. Like the treasure hunts fucking took forever in that game. Like it's insane. Like it just do the treasure hunts, much less all the Witcher contracts. And then all the secondary side missions. And then plus you have all your primary missions on top of that. Yeah. I'm not saying it's a bad game. I enjoy it. I just feel like it's a little overstuffed.
Yeah.
Red Dead, I mean, you may get that feeling, but to me, I didn't. Red Dead, maybe it's because I like Westerns more. That's probably what it is. Is I just enjoy being in that world more and enjoy doing stuff in that world.
Big fan of it. I mean, I enjoy Red Dead, but I'm not a huge Western fan.
I love Westerns.
That part of it is kind of a little lost.
I'm a big Western fan.
Well, I guess all I've been playing. I finally finished the Uncharted series with Lost Legacy.
Oh, okay.
Lost Legacy is actually really good.
Series. It's really good.
Really good. I was surprised by that game.
Chloe.
Another one of my favorites.
Chloe's my girl, Jenna.
Chloe, baby.
I love me some Chloe.
Yes. Always good.
Fuck Lara Croft.
Oh shit.
Oh.
Certain shit.
He likes the Tomb Raider games.
He likes him some Lara Croft too.
No, the Tomb Raider games are great.
Yeah.
No.
But Lost Legacy is great.
Lost Legacy was a great game. I was surprised by it.
Yeah, it's great.
How small the game was.
You never played it before?
No. I never got it. Very good game. Finished the Uncharted series.
That's what makes me love Chloe. I mean, I like Chloe from the other games too, of course. But playing Lost Legacy is what, because you play as her, is what makes you.
Yes. It's really
like
good
Chloe.
game. Real quick, I do want to talk about the whole fucking Cyberpunk 2077.
Yeah,
and how
yeah.
it just failed miserably.
Off of the back of Witcher,
Miserable.
CD Projekt Red, they fucking nailed The Witcher, right? And then they come out with this bullshit. Like how many problems and mistakes and hatred. Some of it may be a little,
but I'm
haterade going
Yeah,
on.
I'm still so confused because I feel like the PC gamers love it.
I think it's because it
can't run properly. It can't run
PS4
properly
can't
on the console.
On the PS5, apparently it runs.
Yeah,
there's still hiccups on the PS5 with the game, but not as much as it is on the PS4.
But they need to make it for. But
there was better quality control needed,
yeah.
And there were just a lot of things. But even by intention, I've seen these things where it's just not. It wasn't thought through as much as it maybe should have been. I mean,
or as
you have the inevitable comparisons to GTA 5, where the cars don't try to get out of your way as if you're going the opposite way. And just little things,
nuances
that just make the world feel
real.
And
Grand
things
Theft Auto
that
feels so much
that were
realer
just ignored. Just like
Cyberpunk 2077.
Side note: Grand Theft Auto 5 is fucking fantastic
amazing
game.
And the fact that game came out 10 years ago?
I don't think
no.
8 years ago?
No. Slow down.
I don't know.
It's maybe, but yeah, a while ago.
It's still better than a new game like Cyberpunk.
Though I haven't played it.
I haven't played it either.
But I haven't either. I'm not here, but
it does look good.
But
here's what I will say is that if you're a PC gamer, it seems like they love it.
Yeah.
The issue is that as a developer, now the PC gamers can get all snobby and say, "Well, you should just play all your games in PC and then you'd be fine."
There's that thing.
But as a developer, I feel like they need to cover all their bases and not just cater towards that, which is a very PC gamers don't like to hear this, but you are a niche audience. You really are.
Very little niche. Yes.
And I have a gaming PC, and I'm good with that and all that stuff. But I also love play console games. I love to sit on my couch and play the fucking whatever. I'm not going to get too deep into it. But the point is that as a developer, regardless of what the PC gamers think, you should want your game to appeal to a mass audience the way that The Witcher did, right? So now I will say The Witcher has a lot of glitches in it too. And I've noticed that playing it, but however, it's nowhere near what you're hearing about with Cyberpunk.
Glitches in general, there's been a lot of games like these. They are the most recent, most talked about, but they're not the first game developer that releases a half-finished game.
Yeah,
not half-finished, obviously that's exaggeration, but an unfinished, unquality checked games with a shit ton of bugs and have to fix it. They rush it, they release it, and then they're like, we'll just, let the people who buy the game tell me all the problems as opposed to a quality control team who should have done it in the first place.
Right, which is what beta testing is for.
Right? Fallout 76. As much as I love Fallout 4, I was looking forward to another one, and that's even ignoring the whole multiplayer thing. There were just so many problems with it.
Well, wasn't Sony giving refunds for?
CD Projekt was trying to give refunds. So many people getting angry about it.
It's like
they took it off the shelf.
So why wouldn't you? Why wouldn't you just?
They even essentially agreed. You're right. We fucked up. Trying to save some face. Some PR, and it's just I think there's an issue there. But,
because look, as much as PC gamers might love it, so there's a guy I work with that spent $1,000 on a fucking graphics card, and he was all stoked.
And that's on a $1,500 computer.
Right.
So
what
you want to tell me that your $2,500 computer is better than my $500 PS4?
Well, duh, right?
Obviously, I hope so.
But it's but he literally bought it to play this game.
Yeah,
that's it.
Yeah.
He bought that graphics card to play this game.
Yeah.
No, I'm all for playing a great game. Don't get me wrong, but it's like
we have to buy $1,000 fucking graphic card.
I understand why he's satisfied. I understand why. But the development company needs to make sure that all other gamers that aren't willing to spend that much, because that's your majority of your market.
Yeah.
That he is a very niche market.
Mm-hmm.
He is not the majority by any sense of the imagination. He's a niche, right? PC gamers overall would spend a shitload of money on their hardware are niche. That the majority of your market, who you want to appeal to, because you want Cyberpunk, you've been advertising it for fucking years now.
Like 8-10 years.
It's been a while.
You want it to appeal to the mainstream audience. You want people to buy it, to people to enjoy it, to people to love it. Yeah, you got to make it playable.
Come on now. Fuck's sake.
Jenna, I know we don't really predict or talk about the news of the future like you do, but you know what? We try to talk some shit on video games. I don't know. It is what it is.
Yes.
You know,
my girl.
Okay,
Chloe,
so you were playing The Witcher, and I'm playing Red Dead. That's the most recent game I'm playing. I've been playing trying to go through some PS Now games because going back to old stuff. And the reason for me is because what new games are there that I want to play? There's a few out there, but the problem I have is 85 games are released, and first of all, I have to look at what games I even want to play, because what if you don't like multiplayer?
No, I'm a single player guy.
What if you don't want to be bombarded with bullshit microtransactions?
Yeah, I'm a single player guy, and microtransactions.
So if I don't want microtransactions and I don't want multiplayer, okay, well, there's 85% of the effort that video game companies are going towards. So what games are left?
But to be fair, there are still plenty of games out there that don't do that shit. It's just it may not be everything. But even something like Cyberpunk is not a game that does that shit. However, it needs to work and not be broken, right? Yeah. So, but I mean, there's plenty. I don't know. I mean, if I had a PS5, maybe. Maybe I could be talking about Demon Souls and Spider-Man Miles Morales right now, but I can't get a hold of one.
Fucking bots fucking taking them all. And
I mean, I have a vague plan to buy one, but I'm not going to be sitting on the computer trying to update every 2 seconds for 3 days straight now. I'll wait until you can just go buy one.
I guess I'm waiting for the PS5 Slim.
Premiums.
I'm waiting for.
The PS5 Slim.
Yeah, I guess that's what I'm waiting for.
You know what we haven't talked about? We haven't talked about the new Xbox. But you know what? We're fresh at a time. So we're going to have to cut this video short. And maybe we'll catch it on the next one.
Yes.
Maybe Jenna will talk about it next time. I don't know.
She better, because it's our 1-year anniversary on our next episode. And we'll say cheers to you. Good night.
Cheers.
Good fight.
Good night. Good fight.
Thank you for watching. Please subscribe. Enjoy. Comment. Thank you.
This has been Beer Night.
Yes.